Good morning. Welcome to Winnipeg. Now I am just wondering here, are we going to get to see where the sun comes up on the shortest day of the year? Technically speaking, it should be the most to the right it can possibly get. Now the difference between yesterday, today, and tomorrow is probably almost negligible. But today is the shortest day of the year, at least for daylight. Yeah, starting tomorrow, the days start getting longer. Yes. Okay, we have, you might say, the mother of all rollbacks. You know what? I think I said that once before. So maybe this would be the grandmother of all rollbacks, because I came back to the model table yesterday afternoon and evening for quite a while. And I had record pressed for quite a while. And we completed step number 3. Got all those little parts down that needed for step 3, and there is a few pieces left, but they're for step 4 here. Yeah, I've kind of encouraged here. I think that maybe what we should do is stop flapping my gums and roll back. But first of all, I did see Don and Bridget a little while ago. I just happened to see them. And they came by this morning already, and they were a little bit more visible. Well, it's a little bit brighter out there than it was yesterday morning. It's not quite as dark. I don't know. There's clouds right where the sun is supposed to break the horizon, so we may not see it. Well, we'll soon know. It's going to be up in probably half an hour or so. Yeah, if it's nice, I'll stick it at the end of today's episode. If not, well, that's the way it goes. Okay, let's roll back and see what it is that I did here last night to get us through step 3. Okay, if you remember from the last episode, I was saying that this piece here I thought had to be darker. I've just finished painting it. It's not quite dry in some places. And they wanted it painted with the H339, which I did not have, but the next best thing was the Tamiya XF24, which I did have. Also, just let me put this down somewhere. I did this piece here. This also required the 339, which I have just done now with the 24. Now, everything that is not dark has to be done with the 338 now. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit iffy trying to get up to the black or the dark and not run into it. But I'll do my best here. Okay, so we'll let this dry, probably overnight. Then I can grab hold of it and handle it. Now, the next thing I wanted to try this evening, if I can. If you remember, I was saying this piece here. I was going to try and just use a toothpick to do the instrument panel or whatever that is. So we'll put the macro lens on, and I think I'll just leave it fastened on here for stability's sake. Otherwise, it's going to have a tendency to move around on me when I'm poking at it. So we'll try the toothpick thing instead of the paintbrush. For me personally, I don't think it's going to make a big difference. And then we'll find out what color this wheel is supposed to be and paint it accordingly. I am seeing 9 places here that possibly could be highlighted. Now these 3 larger dials, they're pretty obvious. But then we got 1, 2, 3, then 4, a little one, 5, a little one, then 6, we got something going on here, 7, 8, and 9. I don't think I'm going to try and, well, I might be able to just touch the edge of this, but I think what's going to happen is I'm going to end up, getting the paint on this area here. These ones here I might be able to get. Now, I don't know if the toothpick idea is going to work. I can almost envision doing it better with a brush. Maybe what I should do is, instead of making a mess of this surface, I should do the easy ones, which is these three big ones, and maybe I can poke into these smaller circles. Okay, we got our XF24 here, which is quite a very dark gray. It's not black. And what I'm using here is one of Gabe's swabs without the swab. All right, let's try it on this right here. I don't know if it's a good idea or not. It is highlighting it, there's no question about it. Let's try a little bit more on the swab thing. Just sort of fill that in. Okay, now these ones here are so small that I don't know if we're going to be able to do it or not. And then there's this raised part right here. Okay. I don't know if I got any on there or not. And there was this one right here. Okay, let's I don't think I got these ones very good. Okay. All right, let's quit while we're not too far behind. And then we're going to have to paint this wheel. That'll be easier. Okay, it turns out that this wheel is not a color at all. Well, I guess black is a color. It's supposed to be black, so I can probably paint the outside on camera, but the underside I'm going to have to take it and hold it up so that I can get at it. This is the thinned out version of black, and it's probably going to take 2 coats here. Now underneath where I'm touching right now, I'm not going to even try to get that, because I'll probably end up touching the panel, whereas the other side that I'm touching right now, I think I can probably get it. But not on camera, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do that and get it done. I think once everything's dry, and it's probably going to be hanging up from the overhead bulkhead in a position where we're not going to see a lot of it anyway, but it's going to be okay. Now, see this little, let's see if I can get something to point with here. I'll use a paintbrush. That little knob, it doesn't stand to reason that should be red. Be something that you'd hit with the palm of your hand to, I don't know, maybe not. I already checked the manual, and it didn't indicate that thing was supposed to be any particular color. Well, we'll just leave it. Probably won't be seen anyway. I think it's sort of in behind something. Okay. Okay, now the fire extinguisher here, remember we started to paint that, and then we concluded, no, that was supposed to be red. And it looks like the entire thing is red. Now, the part where the tweezer is holding on to is where it's going to be up against the bulkhead here. So it doesn't really matter if we don't get there too good. Well, I'm just going to do the whole thing in red. Okay, I just realized that I was painting this entire thing and talking to myself because I forgot to push record. Anyway, we are painted, and it's going to look okay from arm's length. Okay, well, you didn't miss a whole lot. Okay, this piece here, that is only half painted, we don't actually need it until step 4. And the same thing goes with this piece right here. We don't need it until step 4. We're going to have to paint this a lighter shade of gray. And looks like I kind of missed right in there. I didn't notice that. Oh well. Alright, now everything else that goes on this piece right here, except for the 4 light fixtures, are painted. And I'm 90% sure we're not going to be using the light fixtures. I'm 90% sure we are probably going to attempt to do the LED thing. If you had asked me 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago when I first started this, am I going to do LEDs? I would have said I'm 90% sure we won't. But now I'm sort of seeing my way clear. Now, something really interesting one of the viewers pointed out in a comment was that on the back side of these modules, Trumpeter has, let's see, get something to point with here. Okay, don't know if you can see it, but there's a little recessed circle there, one there, one there, and one there. And if you turn this over, those line up perfectly with where a light fixture was supposed to go. So after this thing is all put together, you could still quite easily drill from the outside and put your bulbs in. So that is really cool. Yeah, that's going to make it a lot easier. I think that's the way I'm going to go. I'm going to try and assemble the modules completely and then insert the LEDs from the outside and adhere them from the outside. And I'm not making a mess on the, like in this case, the overhead bulkhead. Well, I guess the light fixtures, all of them will be on an overhead bulkhead of some kind. Okay, let's see if we can get some of these parts down now. I think they should contrast quite nicely once they get up against this very, very light gray. Let's just have a little look here. Oh yeah, that's going to be just fine. Let's try and get them in the right place though. I may as well start from this end here and just work our way along. Yeah, everything's all made. Everything's all made and everything's all painted. Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. Okay, I've changed my mind here. I'm actually going to start from this end and work my way this way. Otherwise, what will happen is if I start the other way and I put something down, it could block the vision for something I'm going to put in behind it, so it makes more sense. Okay, so the very first one we need is the G18, and it goes into a hole right there that you probably can't see because of this rib. But this is the G18. And we're just going to do a little bit of a dry fit here. Okay. I think that this is going to go in okay. Yeah, I'm going to just use some extra thin on that, and I'll recompose and get in a little closer. Yeah, just try not to get the extra thin all over the paint there. Okay, I think that's all right. Okay, now the next thing that goes in is something that has to go in that hole. Let's see, what is it? No, whatever it is, it's okay. The next thing has to go on this flange right here. You know what? It's this piece right here. And it has 2 positioning pins. So I guess something is supposed to go in that first hole. And it is this part right here. Like this. Yeah, I think that's going to go kind of nicely. I wonder if maybe I'd be better off putting the extra thin right on the hole first. Let's just try that here. I wonder if I should be putting the macro lens on. Now, did I get any in there? I think I did. Yeah. Try and fill that hole up. Okay, now let's try and put this part in without smearing it all over the place. And, oh, my glue is going to be dry. Maybe if I held on to it right there like that. Okay, now squeeze. Don't let go. There. It dropped into place. Okay, don't mess with it. Okay, the next is the G4. I hope this is going to break out of there nicely. There we go. Yeah, it should fit. Let's just try it. It has to go like this. Sorry to be getting my fingers in your way. Yeah, I think that's it. That looks good to me. Yeah. Okay, I wonder what's going to be the best way to do it. Again, we'll put the glue on the inside and let it run down. Now don't drop it, don't drop it. Yeah, I think I got it. Okay, now the next thing that we are supposed to put in is a light fixture, and we're not going to do it, right? So that's this one right here. And it's called F1. And it goes in this orientation right here. I think that's going to fit all right. Let's get our get it mounted in our tweezer here. I'm having trouble finding the hole. I might have to do this off camera. Oh, I'm making a bit of a mess. Good thing it's going to be covered up. I'm going to have to take this off camera, sorry. Okay, got it. I just couldn't see it where the peg was coming down. The square peg into the square hole. Okay, we got it. And it's, yeah, it didn't make too much of a mess on our overhead. Okay, now, we got another hole here. What is this? Okay, it's that large piece with the wheel on it. Come on. Now this part is going to be very easily broken off because the only thing that is holding that is that stem. I think it's supposed to lean a little bit more forward, or maybe I guess it would be backwards, wouldn't it? Yeah, this direction, this way is aft. Okay, I think we pretty much got it there. Okay, now the next piece we have to drop down is the F-18 here. And about the only way I can grab hold of it and get it down is like this. And I think, I'll try not to drop it. Keep squeezing, keep squeezing. I'm going to apply the glue off camera because I don't want to drip it on the ceiling. Now, there's actually a fair amount of glue on that part. So let me hold it down here so I can move it around. I don't think that's going to come off. Okay, I pulled the camera back just a little bit here. And the next part is the H5. And it looks like it goes right up against that rib. I'm wondering if we could put that in and just let the extra thin. I'm just going to have to hold this down here and put a little bit of pressure. See if I can get that in place. There, it's in place. Now I wonder if I was to bring some extra thin in from the back, if it would just sort of wick its way down without making a big mess. Maybe that's not a good idea. Well, let's give it a try and see what happens. Okay, let's put a little pressure on that now. Ooh, kind of coming out there, isn't it? Well, it's not going to break out of there, that's for sure. I think that when that evaporates, that little bead that you see on the right hand side there, I think that'll disappear. We're not going to see it anyway, for goodness sakes. Okay, if you follow this line along here, you can see where we're should be plugging in a light. And then we've got two holes here, one here and one here. But I cannot see any part in the manual that is supposed to go there, unless it's like past step 4. Maybe in step 5 was something supposed to go there. But we do have a box that we have to put on here right now. And it goes right like this. Yeah, I think that's going to be alright. I'm going to do the extra thin thing on the inside off camera here. Oops, and I dropped it. Wouldn't you know? Okay. I'm pretty sure I got enough. Okay, let's move further back. Moving further back, there's a light fixture, which we are not going to do. Okay, I've just put the G8 in place. And right here, where these two holes are, goes the fire extinguisher. And right here goes the piece that looks like the fire extinguisher without the handles. Now, I was wrong about the fire extinguisher where it goes. It actually hangs from the overhead like this. Okay. I think that's going to be all right. Now let's find the other part that goes right there. And it is the F-25. Sticking to the tweezer. That's not good. Let's see if I can maybe get it with my thumb here. Yeah, it locked in place. Well, that was lucky. Okay, moving back, we have another light fixture that we're not going to put in. And another one of those bulkheads that goes right across the whole thing. I'll have to move the camera back a bit. H1. And I think I'm going to do the same way as I did the one further up. We'll get it into place, and then we'll bring in some extra thin from the back. Let's try not to let it drip where it's not supposed to. Okay, push it down. Yeah, that's going to be a nice tight fit. Okay, we only have 3 more pieces to put on, and then we're done step 3. Wouldn't it be nice if we could do that this evening yet? I know you can't see the clock, but it's going on for 9 o'clock already. Time flies when you're having fun, right? Okay, so this double one goes right here. See if I can scrunch myself down so I can see where the pegs come. Oh, I didn't quite grab it right. Go a little bit more like this. There. Now, the other one, which is not a double one, it goes the other way. Gotta use a different tweezer. I grabbed it with my pointy tweezers and they kind of stuck. Okay, now this one. Ooh! Ooh! Okay. Sorry to make you jump. I jumped. If I jumped, you should jump too. Yeah. Let's try this again here. Okay, got it. There's a little square box there. It goes right there. I'm just going to put glue on the inside of it. Okay, I may have put too much. And it goes with that pipe thing in this direction. There. I got it. You can see the glue coming out. Okay, that's going to meld nicely. Okay, as near as I can tell, we've got all the pieces on now. I'm just going to double check. Okay, I think we did really good. We got them all on. The only one that I'm a little bit worried about is this one here that has the wheel on it. If you remember, it's just being held up by that one little peg that isn't really, it's in other words, this whole thing is proud of the bulkhead, and it's kind of. Anyway, if it breaks off, I'll just glue it up tight against the top of the bulkhead here, and be done with it. Nobody's going to notice that it's not going to be half a millimeter, this side of it. Anyway, I must be getting tired. I'm getting tongue-tied here. So what else is new, right? Okay, 10 to 9. Yeah, I haven't worked on the model this late for a long time. We're gonna have one heck of a rollback in tomorrow's episode, aren't we? Okay, I think that's gonna be about it. So, I'm happy with this. We're as near as I can tell, we're done step 3. Yeah. Okay, I've got myself a nice little container here with muffins from Arlene. So who's Arlene? Well, you know her as Mrs. Gabe. Now, about guessing on going on a couple hours ago, Gabe stopped by. Not to do a tutorial or anything like that. That's going to happen probably next month. And what he did was he brought me some little gifts here, Arlene's muffins, and also he made some new 1/48 scale figures here. Now this one here, we'll look at it maybe in the next episode. A little bit close. We don't have time today. I want to call today's episode cut it short. The reason being is there is 2 things I want to see. Remember yesterday I was talking about at 2 p.m. my time, Jason is going to have that special where Stephen Payne is going to be on the Queen Mary 2 out in the ocean, and Jason's going to be back in his home in UK, and they're going to have some sort of combined thing going on. And also at 1 o'clock my time, Peter from Oz Scale Modeling is going to have his special on. So I want to try and catch those. So I want to try and get everything wound up here. I should easily make it. I got 2.5 hours. I got to do the final edit and all the rest of it. And today's episode's long enough. Fortunately, I did a real long rollback, and I didn't plan it that way. It just worked out. So Gabe came by and he brought me a holiday card here. And also, you notice this engraving that he did with his laser engraver. It matches my mug. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay. About next month. Next month, Gabe is going to come back, he says. All being well, we'll work it out. And he wants to demonstrate some very, very fine felt markers that he's got. They're artistic felt markers. Like you know when I was talking about putting the little the paint on the dials on that part there, and I was using one of Gabe's swabs actually. Well, he was saying that there's a marker that would do a real good job on that sort of thing, and he wants to sort of demonstrate that. So that's going to be probably, all being well, the next tutorial that Gabe is going to do for us. But that won't be until next month. Sometime in January most likely. But it just didn't work out for today. He was sort of, you might say, stopping by just for a social visit. It was really nice. Okay, I'm going to wind her up here. I'm going to try not to eat these all in one sitting. I'm not going to tell you how much weight I put on in the last 3 weeks. All this Christmas cake. Okay. Thanks for watching, everybody. And all being well, we'll see you tomorrow.